Gravity is one of our universe's fundamental forces, which means that it's present on some level everywhere in the known universe. While gravity maps can show the differences in gravity between places around the world, the difference is usually negligible. There are, however, mysterious places scattered around the world where gravity seems to act in weird and mysterious ways. With that said, we present you with 5 mysterious places with no gravity. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5. Electric Bray. Scotland is full of magical locations and otherworldly scenes, but one in particular really does seem to have some supernatural qualities. At Ayrshire's Electric Bray, the laws of gravity appear reversed, and cars roll uphill, or it at least appears that they do. When motorists reach the Bray, they're warned to slow down, and with good reason. Motorists who are visiting the area regularly pull up at the spot, turn off their engines, disengage their handbrakes, and marvel at their cars as they apparently roll uphill. So, what's really going on? Magnetic fields? Minerals in the rich coastal soil? Fairies? Well, unfortunately, no. Electric Bray's powers are quite literally in the eye of the beholder. The road is on a hill with a 1 in 86th gradient, but the surrounding landscape tricks the eye into believing that you're descending when you're actually climbing the hill, or ascending it when you're traveling downward. It sounds confusing, but to make it much more simple to understand, the road is pointing downhill while the landscape around the road looks as if it's uphill. This road has baffled travelers from far and wide for years, including former American President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who visited the Bray when he was stationed at Prestwick during the Second World War. It is one of the dozens of known, quote, gravity hills worldwide, each with a fantastical name designed to draw attention to the phenomenon. The Electric Bray is no different from these other illusions, but that doesn't make the experience of rolling uphill with a confused passenger any less fun. Passing the amazing views of the Scottish countryside, there's a single rock on the roadside that marks the mysterious spot. It is in this small stretch of road where drivers of their cars can put them in neutral and seem to actually roll uphill against gravity. Long ago, when electricity was still a mystery, the first observers thought that it was somehow overpowering the natural gravity and drawing things uphill. One of the few natural gravity hills, it's been the source of several legends, as it seems to have some kind of force that carries objects to the sea uphill. The stone that marks the spot, however, does describe the optical illusion. It makes it seem as though it's inclined one direction, while in reality, the ground is inclined in the opposite direction. The trees and surrounding landscape help to reinforce the illusion. Even so, it still seems like a magical place with supernatural qualities, and if you're ever in Scotland, you should probably check it out. Number 4. Santa Cruz Mystery Spot. Discovered in 1939 by inventor George Prather, this famous tourist attraction was first opened to the public soon after the end of World War II. According to the local newspaper, Prather began to feel dizzy after purchasing land on the hill and said that he noticed his compass jittering wildly. After building his house on the property, because that's what you do when you start feeling dizzy on newly purchased land, he invited some people to come and see the weird anti-gravity anomaly and share in the dizziness experience. Soon after this, tour guides started to provide daily shows to interested tourists. On the land sits the first crazy house in California, which was completed in extreme detail to showcase the absence of gravity. The place became so popular that it was passed down to several generations of the Prather family. Visitors to the mystery spot seem to be able to balance at impossible angles and seem to fall sideways into the house. Water can be seen flowing uphill, and the tour guides put a ball on a piece of wood trim on the house as you watch it seemingly travel up the wood and drop off the edge. Visitors often describe odd feelings and effects while standing within the mystery spot. And that's probably certain to happen when your brain starts playing tricks on you by what you feel as compared to what you're actually seeing. The guides provide some speculations for the existence of the gravitational anomaly, and some of those include seemingly bizarre things, such as underground spacecraft or guidance systems, mega-vortexes, or even biocosmic radiation, which, until this place, is a new term. Whatever the true reason, the tourist guides seem to enjoy the curiosity and theories of the guests that explore the strange home nestled in the California redwoods. Over the years, the mystery spot remains a popular tourist destination that has been visited for generations. In fact, as of August 2014, the site is officially considered a California historical landmark as young and old continue to voyage into the famous Santa Cruz mystery spot. It's fascinating to walk inside the mystery spot to witness other bizarre things besides the stuff we mentioned previously, like leaning past your toes, watching water flow upwards, and trees that have branches growing only in one direction. The gravitational anomaly within a circular area of 46 meters in diameter still continues to perplex people. Number 3. Livermore Gravity Hill. Gravity hills are locations at the base of a slope or hill where, supposedly, if you park your car and leave it in neutral, it'll somehow roll up the slope of the nearby hill. Several are rumored throughout California, including San Diego, La Jolla, Livermore, Moore Park, Altadena, Los Angeles, Antioch, Petaluma, Redlands, Ramona, Sylmar. According to reports elsewhere in the world, gravity hills can be found outside of California and include places like Sweden, Maine, and Bedford County, Pennsylvania. They're also occasionally known as magnetic hills, gravity roads, mystery hills, etc. Mile marker 157 on Patterson Pass Road in Livermore is the location of yet another gravity hill. Urban legends even add sounds to this one, that as you roll uphill, you'll hear the sound of footfalls behind your car as something pushes it. And like many gravity hills, handprints appear on your car, in this case on your bumper from the person pushing. There are two common stories surrounding this gravity hill. The first is the usual children in a broken down bus get out and try to push, but the bus rolls back on them, killing them all. However, stories also attribute this gravity hill to the deaths of 2 high school students post-prom, who drove off the side of the road and fell to their deaths. They now like their solitude and push cars away from the site of their death, not wishing to be bothered by those who stop. If the ghosts of children or misguided teenage lovers aren't enough for you, then ghosts of angry, naked football players lurk around a tree near Gravity Hill. According to the urban legend, in 1963, Livermore opened its second high school, Granada High, and had its first homecoming game against Livermore High School. Afterward, players from the winning team hung out with 2 players from the losing team, inviting them to hang out and drink near the aforementioned Gravity Hill. During a drunken joke, the winning team's players stole the clothes of the losing team's 2 players and hung them from the branches of this tree. The story continues that in the morning, the winning team players called some other players of the losing team in order to tell them where they could collect their naked teammates. However, by the time they were found, the naked football players were dead, having died during the night, presumably from the cold. They now haunt the area around the tree seeking revenge on other careless teenage pranksters. One interesting thing to note, the winning team changes depending on which high school the teller of the tale is from. Number 2. Confusion Hill. Moving further north in California is another interesting spot with more than a few oddities. Listed as one of the California points of historical interest, Confusion Hill in Piercy is over 60 years old, and the spot is located off the US 101 motorway. One of the biggest differences from the similar Santa Cruz mystery spot to the south is that it claims to be the home of the elusive Chippelope, a creature that is part antelope and part chipmunk. Usually pictured as a chipmunk with antlers, this interesting fusion has been proposed to be the product of powerful magic or even alien experimentation. The tale of the potentially fictional creature is told in great detail, and is a part of the great legend of the Confusion Hill as a whole, a place that is thought to be a source for all kinds of strange occurrences. Inside the house that was built there, gravity behaves strangely and people feel as though they aren't standing upright even when they are. The house was built by George Hudson after wanting to have his own strange place such as the famous Oregon Vortex. Confusion Hill passed through several owners, but its mysterious legends remained. It's also the home of the world's tallest freestanding redwood chainsaw carving, as well as the redwood shoe house and miniature train ride for the family. However, because Confusion Hill is a self-guided tour rather than the tightly controlled tours at other mystery spots, you have the opportunity to explore the forced perspective, Ames Room illusion to the fullest. Among the illusions are rolling a golf ball out the window and having it come back at you, standing on the walls, and a gravity chair, which is easy to get into and difficult to get out of. The other attractions on Confusion Hill are appropriately confusing and include a redwood shoe house, which was used as a float in a 1947 parade and has been on the hill since 1949 when Confusion Hill was originally built. It also boasts the largest freestanding redwood chainsaw carving at over 40 feet tall, and a mountain train ride on a 20-gauge track. Unfortunately, though Confusion Hill is located amid a redwood forest, much of the forest has been logged, leading one commenter to say it looked like a nuclear bomb decimated the redwood forests. Number 1. Oregon Vortex. Nestled in Gold Hill, the Oregon Vortex is one of the oldest and most popular gravity hills to exist in the United States. According to legend, the vortex is actually forbidden land from when the Native Americans lived in the area. The attraction claims that the house is surrounded by a whirlpool of swirling gravitational forces, such as the ones that make up our own galaxy, the Milky Way. They claim scientific analysis proves the bizarre forces at play are visitors trying to orient themselves in this mysterious house. Patrons seem to grow and shrink as they move about and are able to lean at impossible angles within the vortex. Tourists claim the strongest effects are felt within the corona of the vortex, and children and parents are amazed at the seemingly impossible feats done by tour guides that work there. Demonstrations and other performances are done on site to the cheers of the crowds who see them. Another gravitational anomaly, more skeptics and believers who are divided on the validity, this time of the vortex, while the owners still claim that the power there is real. Regardless of the truth, the Oregon Vortex is popular enough to have actually been featured in many shows and other media. From X-Files to Supernatural, it's said to have real, mysterious power. Even the popular Disney show Gravity Falls has its main location designed after the vortex. While a fundamental force, gravity is still being researched, and new discoveries happen all the time. Who knows where this force will take us next? Alright, Top 5ers, if you haven't already, make sure to visit our other channel, The Brilliant, for even more interesting list videos that'll blow your mind. Oh, but I'm warning you, the videos over on The Brilliant are extremely addicting to watch as well. There'll be a link in the description to the channel, so make sure to come and visit us. Or you can go to our latest video popping up on screen right now. Oh, and have you visited thefinestpost.com to enjoy the most amazing articles you will ever get to read?